I am bringing back an oldie but a goodie today. We're gonna do AAA Friday on a Monday because that's crazy, and let's get crazy. So if you've never done AAA with me before, this is a 2020 throwback. We are going to do 12 minutes of each section. So we'll start with 12 minutes of glutes, 12 minutes of arms, and finish with 12 minutes of abs. So what you need for this class, you'll need a mat, and you'll also need 2 sets of dumbbells. I'm using 10s and 5s today, so I'm not going too crazy. Have them in the back or nearby, have a water bottle, and get ready to get it started. So before we start our playlist, let's just give ourselves a moment to settle into our space. Reach the arms overhead, just kind of feel it out through the rib cage. Exhale the arms down to the sides, shake it all off. We're gonna hit play as a team in 3, 2, 1, hit it. Oh, I just exited out of the program because that's me. That's me, okay? That's what's to expect on a Monday. All right, our warm-up's about 4.5 minutes. A lot of the stuff we're doing today is gonna happen on the mat, but first and foremost, we're gonna start standing. So let's bring those feet nice and wide apart. Drop it down, pulse, bring across the hip, drop it down, pulse. That way we're getting everything warm right away. Drop, pulse, and twist. A couple more, let's drop it down and exhale, twist. As we drop down, just kind of notice, is your weight evenly distributed between your feet, right? Notice if you're doing more of a lunge than a squat. I've got good news. The glutes portion of this class, there is not one squat, there is not one lunge. What? She's crazy. We're not even doing deadlifts? Nope, not today. Last one on the right, last one on the left. Glute kicks to get that heart rate up. Abs in super tight, so just churning to this side. I'm bringing those heels pretty close to my seat, if not touching it. Couple more seconds. Chest is up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant your feet wide. Arms reach out. Bend, extend, and lower. Lift, bend, open, and lower. Here's the breathing. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. 2 more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one. Exhale up, in, out, return. Good, bring them back up, palms up and down. So feel free to move around your space. I know for me, like if I'm just standing still, I'm like, what? So I'm just kind of pocketing in the shoulders, palms up, palms back, palms up, palms back for 4, 3, 2, moving into side bends just on one side. Open, return. So we're just waking up our obliques. We're gonna be moving through some static core and some dynamic core. Let's do 2 more on this side. Last one, switch. We bring it up and across, pull. Up and across, pull. Emphasize this like I'm a little teapot moving pretty quickly, right? Couple more. Last one. Come on down to all fours position. So once we're in all fours, hands come down. We're gonna bring it into a back kick and switch. Now, I'm not gonna do this today, but if you're feeling extra spicy, you could add ankle weights. I admittedly have already worked out a couple of times today. Poor planning. So I think if I tried the ankle weights, I may be so mad. Let's do 1 more kick per side. And then from here, drop into the forearms and rise into a forearm plank. Let's hold this plank, shift it front and back. Couple more reps. Front and back. 2 more reps. Front and back. Our warm-up is almost over. 1 more rep. Good, drop into the knees, slide the legs forward. So I'm just gonna turn to the other side, change my point of view quite literally. Warming up the core, take the hands behind the knees. This is one of my favorite core warm-ups because I always feel like I'm really working right here in the transverse abdominis, my rectus. So that's going to target those six-pack abdominals. This is also a great entry point for a lot of people that are not super great at sit-ups. And to be totally honest with you, we're doing sit-ups today. So this might be a way to make it a little more accessible for your body. All right, so warm-up is officially over. If you need a quick sip of water, let's grab it. We're starting with our glutes section. It's 12 minutes, 4 movements, 3 times through, no rest unless you need it. Okay, so first thing first, we're gonna go into downward facing dog and kick to the sky. 1 minute, 3, 2, and 1, let's go. Kick and switch. So what I love about this action is a lot of different things are starting to activate. I've got good news. Once we're done with our 12-minute section, we don't do this activity again. So although we see this a few times, literally, once this is over, it really is over. Good. Exhale your heel up. Really try to feel that accentuation of the stretch on your bottom leg. Good, good, good. We've got time for 1 more kick per side. Then we'll grab our heavier set of dumbbells. So I'm going to use my 10s. They're going to come across my hips. Once they're across my hips, so the legs, go ahead and bring the heels together. Lift your hips, lower your hips. So it's a butterfly bridge. Head is long, so you're looking at the ceiling. You're lifting up, using the gluteal squeeze at the top. Oh, throwback time. I've got a couple of really good throwbacks in today's playlist. Music is super motivating for me, so you'll hear me talk about it here and there inside of our workout. But there is no obligation to listen to what I like. So if you like what I like, cool. If you don't, it's all cool too. Do 2 more. Single-sided action is next. So we're gonna set these dumbbells to the sides. We will need them again and again, so just have them nearby. Rock yourself up and onto the forearm of your right, hand of the left. Bring that left leg out like a hydrant. Extend that leg straight. Tap and lift. We are here for an entire minute on this side. We're lifting that leg up and back, straight from the hip. All my weight on the forearm and the knee of my opposite side. So that's my right side. I feel this all down that glute. I'm just off my mat on the toe, and then I come up and in. Good. We're gonna stay facing this direction and switch the legs. So come on over to the opposite side, extend the opposite leg, lift. So the reason why I'm not facing you is to hopefully have you see what's going on with the leg. Exhale to lift it up. Oh my gosh, my right leg is not the leg that's burning right now. That's my moving leg. It's actually my stable leg that's like, what? I'm sorry, what's the assignment? It's true. And we still have to do this 2 more times, okay? So if you're like, dude, no way, right? Bring the knee in, tap the toe, lift the leg. That's a great way to split it up, or just take little breaks, because like I mentioned, we're not getting any breaks in this class at all. Kind of brutal, I know, but that's where you have to work intelligently, okay? Last one here, meet me in your down dog. So we come right into this position. Cool news is we're getting this nice little stretch, and it's a bent knee back kick, meaning I'm bending that knee, getting a little hamstring. Remember, this is not a sprint. It is very marathon-esque, meaning we want to try to maintain all of our composure throughout the 12-minute duration, working the low body. Now, good news, right? Upper body's next. So you're going to get a huge low body reprieve. And then, of course, we'll work the nugget, right in the middle. Good, just a few more seconds left on these kicks, and of course, we still have to do them again. You can do it. Put your butt into it. Give me one more kick right and left, and then meet me on your back. So roll yourself onto the knees, soles of the feet meet, and if butterfly bridges are not for you, a traditional hip bridge works for me, where your heels are flat on the floor and your toes are lifted. I lift my hips, I slowly set my spine down. Think less is more here. How few can we do and feel this deep affect in the glutes, right? I mean, if you don't feel it, let me know. Really, seriously, write me a note. I want to know what's going on because we are a small but mighty crew, right? And the more I can really tap into what your goals are, what you'd like to see happen, the better off I serve you. And I love working out, so I'm happy to do whatever works for you. Okay, so that's the last bridge. Go ahead and come on down. I'll face the opposite direction, so that reminds me, I do that right leg first. So I'm gonna bring it off my mat, lift and pull in, lift. Careful you're not whipping your back. I just kind of caught myself like really hyperextending my spine. So belly in tight, pull it away from your pant line or your t-shirt. We're just tapping and lifting it up. Tapping and lifting it up. Inhaling and exhaling it up. So listen, we have about 5 minutes and 20-ish seconds left in glutes. If this is bugging you, you can always bend your knee, right? The bend of the knee is going to give me a little shorter lever and a little bit more feasible work. So if I'm looking for something to split the difference, that'll do it. Last kick on the right leg, and just like I did last time, we'll do the other leg facing the back of the mat. I know it's a little bit crass to have my booty facing you, but I do think that this is actually pretty effective for learning purposes in terms of where the leg is going. Actually, as I say that, in the third round, I'll face you head on so you can see the angle of the leg. But for now, just do what feels home base to you. It feels like you're getting that gluteal work, back body. Pull the navel in. I love this track. This really does help. The dip. Come on. Got 15 more seconds and we'll see this just one more time. Oh my gosh. Woo! That's it. Time for 2 more. 1 more. And we go all the way back to the top. 4 more minutes, right? So up and back to down dog, and we're kicking. Kicking. Notice how I'm not trying to add anything in. I'm not trying to make it harder. I'm not trying to go faster. There's a reason for that. And that reason is consistency. Can you stay consistent with the choices you've made in the way you're moving today? So say, for example, down dog isn't working. We did this in the warm-up. I could come down to the forearms even, and I could just kick back with my heels. That's gonna be a lot less intense on the shoulders, obviously, but it's the beginning of the workout, meaning we're in our first third of the workout. We have the most energy in this time zone here. So if you can, if it's not painful, try it out. Good, come on down to your knees, flip over onto your back. This is your last set of bridges. So heels together, knees nice and wide, lift and really try to lower that spine down as if you're setting something very, very, very delicate on the floor. Like it's made of glass. Exhale, lift. Oh, I love bridges. They always feel good. They always feel good on my hips. Oh, listen, we got less than 2 minutes. Well, I said that a little early. We've got 2 minutes and some change, meaning we've got a couple of these guys left. Then we're gonna move into those leg lifts, and we'll do them head on. I'll show them to you forward so you can see the angle of my feet, okay? Give me one more bridge, and then let's set our weights a little further away, and then come on down to either forearm. I'm gonna come down to my left forearm, right fingertips, take the right toes out to the corner. Then from here, I'm gonna lift up and in, almost like I'm trying to align my heel with the knee that's supporting me. Lift. Oh, 30 seconds. You know how like when you're doing things in a workout and you're like, man, it feels like it's been a minute. And then you look up at your watch or you look at the clock on the wall and you're like, it's literally been 25 seconds. That was me about 20 seconds ago. Right? Now, I'll say this, maybe I'm not as bubbly as I usually am, but I'm still showing up, right? That is the discipline factor. I made a commitment. I stick to that commitment unless I'm really injured or I'm really ill. So you know the difference between good and bad pain. We've talked about it, right? Joint pain, bone pain versus muscular pain, which is the good pain. Same would go for a day where you're like, I just really don't want to do it. Now, you would have to really examine, is it that I just don't really want to do it? Or is there something preventing me? Or what? See if you can really search your soul for that one. And dig in and tell yourself you can. Really try to push through some of that discouragement. Because I'll tell you, I bet you after this workout, I'm gonna feel great. Last lift, guess what? Legs in the coffer. Excuse me. Excuse me again, we move into arms. So I'm gonna do my arms with these 5-pound dumbbells. Your first arm movement, oh, this is really not fun. Sit back onto your heels or sit how you'd like to. We're gonna do a lateral raise hold. Hold your lateral raise, and then in about 5 seconds, we bring the elbows in, meaning we're gonna bring the palms in, elbows will bend, bring them back out. I am trying really hard to keep my arms parallel without letting my shoulders lift towards my earlobes. So in this instance, I'll show you a little bit of a profile here. I'm maintaining this neutrality in the spinal column as the arms start to really fire up, not just in my delts, but also through my triceps. Good, let's do one more. Good, and then from here, I'm gonna stay in this kneeling position, but I'm gonna rise into the high kneel, lean forward, kick back, pulse the arms and return. Bend, kick back, pulse the arms and return. Bend the elbows, kick the elbows back, pulse and return. So in this kickback, I'm also doing a little row and I'm adding in a little pulse to get that tricep really burning. Little pulse. Careful that you're not doing much with your neck. You're trying to keep your gaze forward. We'll have plenty of time to work on the elements. So move slow, tap into the breathing. Give me one more. And return. Okay, so good news, we're gonna get off those knees for one movement. Once you're on your back, keep your feet flat. Arms are going to start directly over the chest, head is down. Fly the arms out, keep them there. We're going to pull one arm in, return it out, and then the other arm comes in. This is a little harder than having the weight directly over my heart in the rest. When I've got my arms out to the sides, I have to really keep the opposite shoulder from dumping or lifting. We want to keep it neutral. Head is down, back is flat. I have my feet flat on the floor for this first round. If I wanted to advance the movement, there's two things I could be up to. One, I'd float the legs up. And two, I would maybe float the head up, but that's abs, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. We still have abs to go. So maybe don't spend all of your money at the store, at this store. We've got other stores to visit. Okay, bring the weights into the chest. Rock yourself up to a seat. We come back to the kneeling position for our last bit. So in this instance, I'm back on the heels. I'm gonna bend my elbows. I'm going to extend my arms all the way forward. Open the arms out, bring them back in, pull them towards the heart. Release, fly, return, and pull. Release, fly the arms out. So if you're like, I'm done kneeling, this kneeling nonsense is for the birds, this is the action. I bring it in, I pull it to the heart, I fly. I pull it into the heart. Now, you may have noticed my shoes untied. I know, right? I'm a walking mess today. Because I'm not doing a ton of movement, like I'm not jumping around, not horribly concerned with it. That is tied. But since I happen to be standing, I'm just gonna fix it. So we're gonna go back to the top. Again, you could do this one standing too. In fact, I'll do it this way so you can see it. My arms come out. I pull the elbows out. I keep saying that. I pull the arms in and out. I lift, bend, extend, and I lower this time. Why would I do that this round? Because maybe the arms are starting to feel some type of way. I know for me, mine are. So if that's you, this is a way to modify this activity. But if it's not you, you're here and you're keeping your arms all the way out and you're just bending and extending in and out. We've got 10 more seconds to go, a little bit less. Do 2 more if you can. Ooh, and we're gonna come into that kickback. So I am gonna come back to my kneeling position and turn entirely to my side. So it's gonna be that elbow bend, kick it back, pulse and return. Elbows bend, kick it back, pulse it up. Now, if you can't maintain a nice flat back here, I would stay standing because what we want is we want this little pitch forward. Pull, extend, pulse, and return. From the front, I look like this. Narrow grip row, kick back, straight arm pulse, return. Narrow, kick it, pulse, and return. Use your breath. Biggest component here. Last one. Come on down to the flooring. This is the one where we're on our back, right? So showing this to you a little further away from the camera. I could float my legs. My arms come out wide. They're in alignment with my chest. One arm comes in, then the other arm comes in. This is a lot harder because I have to counterbalance with my upper body. So I feel super light. I feel like I'm gonna roll to a side. So make sure that if you cannot maintain your back on the mat, you do a different variation. For example, maybe I wanna try this advanced move. I would start my weights over my chest, fly one out and then the other one out. This one's easier because the weight's in alignment with my midline. When the weight's further away from my heart, meaning in alignment in the same plane, it's a lot harder to maintain my balance. I could also extend my legs, right? That might feel good. We're done in 4, 3, 2. We've got the reverse flies. So if you're ready, go ahead and come Come up to that kneeling position. Reverse fly and return. Now, maybe if I'm feeling good here, I add a little fly, half range fly, return. Fly, half range fly. So I don't bring the weights all the way back in front of my hips. I come here, outside the hips, return. There is a concern though that you would lift the shoulder, elevate the shoulder. If you feel like you're doing that, start the weights lower. So they're more along like your belly button than in alignment with more of your empire waist or chest, okay? We've got a couple more. You're gonna get more opportunities to do it. So don't fret. And we start back up at the top. So again, the original exercise. I'm gonna do my lateral raise. I'm gonna hold it out. I'm just gonna hold it. Just hold and breathe. We only have 2 static holds. One of them's for the full minute. This one's only for about 12 more seconds. I'm shaking. I don't know if you can see it or not. If you can, just roll those shoulders back. Start to bend in, extend out, release. Lift, bend in, come right into that sternum, out, and release. It's the last 20 seconds with a lateral raise and elbow bend to target the triceps, which again will target the triceps with the kickbacks. So you're getting a lot of tries. Literally, figuratively, all that stuff. Last one. Good. Now we're gonna go into the kickbacks. I am gonna stand for this. I felt like it was helpful. So I'm bending the elbows, kicking back, pulsing and returning. Bend, extend, pulse and return. If you're going, Mandy, I'm using 5s with you. I'm managing, but I know there's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. What can I do to make it easier? Here it is. I'll do one arm at a time. One arm at a time. Maybe I don't have weights and I'm doing this body weight today, and so I feel like I could manage it without the weight, right? I keep those elbows up, pulse, return. Maybe I keep the row the whole time. Return, row. Not as easy as it sounded for me. I'm gonna let that go. Come on down to the floor. It's your last set of chest flies. So if you want, lift your head, keep your legs straight, focus on one fly at a time. This is harder than doing both arms at the same time. Because even if I've got 20 pounds, if they're way outside my arms, that counterbalance is so difficult to maintain. Listen, if this feels weird in the neck, release the head. That's the first thing to go. Second thing to change, weights would start here. I'd make it easier on myself. Third thing to change, I maybe set my feet back on the floor and come back to the original exercise with the arms out first. 9 more seconds to go on the upper body action. Second to last, right? We've got one more thing, that's the reverse fly. Go ahead and rise your way up, maybe to kneel or maybe to stand. I think I'm gonna come back to the kneeling position so you can see it. I'm on my knees, I fly open, I return halfway, I open again, and I return fully. Open, half, lift, return. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Arms are almost over. If you want, in the abs section, you may want one dumbbell. I'll have 110 and 15 available in case I need to go down or up in weight. Slow return, little pulse, couple more seconds. Really squeeze the middle of the back. I think I just did 2 normal ones. Lift, half release, lift and lower all the way. That's time. So we're gonna set that dumbbell down and be ready for abs, starting with Oh man, the loaded sit-up. Okay, so I am gonna use my 10 because I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna split this time in half. So load the shoulder of your left, opposite hand comes behind your ear. Let's do 3, lower down with control, 2, lower down with control. You have time to do 1 more. We split this in half, meaning we do 30 seconds. Switch your sides. Right hand has the dumbbell, left hand's gonna hold the back of my head. Curl up, release. Remember, if you need the modification, I'm gonna show it to you here after this rep. The modification would be the warm-up, right? So I could take my hands to my knees, rock back, help myself up. Or maybe I rock back, I release the arms, and I don't help myself up. It's kind of like a nice little baby step into that sit-up, okay? All right, so leave your weight behind. I don't want to do it as much as I've been programming this. I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm on my forearm plank and I'm holding this one. I mentioned this in the warm-up. I mentioned it in the arms section. I might have even mentioned it in glutes. I am notorious for coming out of things. So I'm gonna try to stay super diligent and disciplined on holding this forearm plank. We've got about 20 seconds left. Admittedly started a little bit late in the minute. Don't worry though, right? We still have 10 whole minutes of the workout until the cool down. So we still have a lot of time to work. All right, no time was wasted. 4, 3, 2, come on down to the knees. This is a fun one. We're gonna do a seated mermaid. So your bottom foot is in front of your top foot. Your top foot and bottom foot are both flexed. Bottom arm is gonna support, top arm is gonna help us lift, extend, and lower down. So if you're too close to your fiddle leaf plant, just move a little further down. Lift and extend, release back to the spring load of the hip. Mandy, this is a lot on my shoulder. What else could I do? I could come down to my forearm. I lift my hips forward and extend. It's the same action. It's the same setup with the feet, but I'm still working the side of my body. She totally snuck up on me. Let's do one more full boat if we can. So that wasn't the greatest setup because I kind of moved my legs. This is the last one. And let's switch our sides. So we're gonna set up on the second side. Remember, bottom leg is back, top leg is front. Set your hand about 45. It's gonna take a second to set up, and that's okay. It's not about how many we're doing here. Lower. Use the edges of your feet. You're really pressing into the big toe of your top leg. That's gonna be my left. And you're pushing to the outer foot of the bottom leg. Oh my gosh, I am sweating. Core work. Oh, look at, we got another person doing core work over here, right on the very edge of the screen. I call her a person. Okay, so good news. Round 1 is over at the end of this last rep. Now we're gonna go into round 2. What was the beginning? We had the loaded sit-up. So your weight should be pretty nearby. Take it into the left hand. Roll your way back. Remember, if you need to use your hand, you use your hand. Here's an added challenge. Lift your way up, press to the sky, right? Lower down. I've got my free hand there for me if I need it for my head or if I need any sort of support, right? If I need to lower down with control. You got time for one more, and then meet me at the top for the switch. Last time we switched to the bottom, I didn't love it. So now I roll back and rise up. Notice how I was very sneaky there because I know she's gonna try to roll back. She's gonna try to get in my way while I'm rolling back. I know this because I know this cat. This is the petting hour. It's the petting hour, my friends. Got time for one more and then, oh my gosh, you know what's coming, right? Forearm plank hold. Ooh. Good, set your dumbbell off to the side. Meet me in your forearm plank. Hold. Can you hold it still? Oh, we still started a little bit late, but let's see if we can hold on to it. Breathe. Neck nice and long. I'm kind of looking at my watch and I'm pushing the ground away from me. Notice if your shoulders are here. You're trying to, I know I'm coming out, but I really want you to notice, really dome your back. So you're trying to separate your shoulder blades from your spine, okay? That was a very important cue, otherwise I would have stayed. But see, here's this. This is not great. This is a little bit better. Pull the navel in and squeeze your butt cheeks together. We can hold on to it for 9 more seconds. This is 9, 8, 7, 6. We're going to start on the arm we ended on, which for me will be my right. Lower the knees down. Good. Okay. Hand at 45. Chest lifts. Take it up and over. Return the hip. Roll that shoulder back. Check it out. We get a whole minute to work on these. Whole minute. Kind of mean, right? Slow return. Make sure when you're returning, you're actually bending your knees. You're not just setting your hips down. Otherwise, that hand is going to be no longer 45 degrees in front of you. A little bit harder to support. So lift up and over. Feel that C curve, side bend situation. And inhale to return back to the flooring. Really spread your hand out. Align it with the hip, lift, and return. We've got time for 2 more. Good, 1 more time, and we'll switch it to the opposite hip. So return, flip yourself onto the opposing hand, 45 degrees. Okay, here we go. Lift your way up. Ooh, lost my balance. Lower your way down. I knew that felt weird. Bottom leg is forward, front leg is back. Right? She's working on it. She's a work in progress. Breath in, exhale. We're not concerned with how many because we have a lot of time to work on it and it's back and forth and back and forth. It's just a lot of repeating, which is good for the body. It's good for the body to do this over and over again. So if you're really tempted to just skip the last 4 minutes, well, 1, I am too. And 2, it's the most important 4 minutes because we can really solidify this like core work that we're really trying to aim towards feeling super strong from inside out, okay? Last one, meet me on the mat. You need your weight, or maybe I'm just gonna use my 5, right? So if you're feeling really like, I'm just tired, man, like I don't know if I can do much more, then just let's do the lighter dumbbell. Feet flat on the floor, curl your way up, option to press and lower down. Just because we added a little less weight in doesn't mean we can't do the add-on if you're feeling good, right? The other arm is out there for counterbalance, or if I need to hold my head, I can. Switch your arms while you're in the air, lower down. Feel that articulation of the spine. We talked a little bit about it in the bridge, so how can we use it in the crunch or the sit-up in this instance? Yeah? Just a little bit more time. Did you like that little smooth? On my way down, I'm just gonna give her a little pet. 3, 2, set your dumbbell down, flip over onto your forearms. All right, we're gonna hold this still. Breathe. Probably won't do much talking, to be honest with you, while we're here, because this is tough for me. Just imagine, put yourself somewhere lovely. 30 seconds. Listen, we've come this far. 45 minutes together. About 4 of it stretching, about 4 of it cooling down, but the rest of it's all work. Good, 15 more seconds. If you're shaking, I am too. Just a reminder, core doesn't really get easy. It gets manageable. This is 3, this is 2, that's your minute, you made it. Okay, start on either side. I'm gonna start on this side. Yeah, make sure the bottom leg is forward. Here we go. Lower down. Oh my gosh. Plug this shoulder in, reset if you need to. You watch me kind of move my hand around because I have to make the adjustments every time. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, boy, does it feel good to sit back down though, right? Return. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's happening. It's that last 15 seconds that I just like, what? What was it that you want to do? I wrote the workout, you'd think, right? You got time for one more on this side, then we flip it around, we do the other side, and it's Stretch City Population Us. Let's go. Return, flip the legs, mindful of people or things that need to be on your mat, because they just can't without it. All right, so bottom leg is your front leg. Top leg is your back leg. You're springing off your hip as you reach up and over the side of your body. When you come into that side plank positioning, you're stacking your hand over your shoulder, or shoulder over your hand rather. Remember, modification could be I come to the forearms, maybe I even come into like a little side plank tap with a little kickstand leg. So there's options for you. I know I showed it to you a little bit late, but there's always a way to make things happen for yourself. And if you ever have questions, feel free to ask. I have great news. There's a reason why I'm sitting in Petting Asia. We are stretching. We're in Stretch City Population Us, like I mentioned a little bit ago. So if you're using the playlist, last 2 tracks are going to be our cool down tracks. If you don't, it's okay. Just listen to something that feels nice and cooling to you. And we're going to come on down to our back. So bring your knees into your chest. Let your head relax on the mat. So if this is tough to have your head down on the mat, grab a little hand towel, put it underneath your head so your head is a little elevated with support. I like starting here because it just feels nice to have that pressure on my low back. And we'll just start to do little circles. Our back is our connector to everything we work today, right? Glutes, arms, all around our midsection. So if this feels good, keep coming with me. And then when you're ready, we're gonna set our feet down, just careful of anybody that's around. Once your feet are down, we're gonna take the right ankle, cross over the thigh of the left. Then lift your left leg up. If you can grab for the left shin, cool. If not, all good, right? I could always grab the back of the knee or the back of the thigh rather. So I'm just gonna do this static pretzel stretch right now. Just flex your feet, point your toes, move those ankles around. Maybe nod your head a little bit. With these larger muscle groups, it just takes longer for things to kind of move through. So we are holding this for a little longer. Let's set our foot down and switch our sides. So crossing the ankle now of the left and taking that hand around the shin of the right. Try to imagine kind of pushing that left knee away from you, flexing, pointing, ankle circling, all that jazz, and maybe just lick your lips and swallow. We'll hold on to it for another round of breath. And then when you feel ready, release that foot. Extend your legs straight, just careful. And take your arms above your head. We're stretching that abdominal wall pretty passively here. And another thing I like to do is just kind of wave my upper body right to left and feel this little side bend stretch. Super passive. Wring out the wrists. And then when you feel ready, just grab for the backs of the legs and rock yourself up. We're going to bring our legs into this 90-90 position. So I've got my right shin perpendicular to the edge of the mat and my left shin parallel to the edge of this mat. Good. Nice. From here, go ahead and start to fold forward and walk over towards one side. So I'm going to walk over towards the knee bend of my left and just bend into that. Come back up, walk it all the way over over to the other side. This side's gonna be harder. That's normal, right? Because it's not gonna be in the same bend. Ooh, I feel this through the side of my body on the left. Come back through center. Fun little transition. Keep your feet where they're located and drop it into the other 90-90. So I know I'm not facing you, so I'm gonna turn to face you so you can see this. And I'm just gonna fold over the legs. So what I like about this is to get the internal, external rotation of the hips. Start to walk the hands all the way to the knee in front. So this is the easy way. And then all the way over to the more challenging way, so that we're getting more of a rotation through the spine. Just breathe into it, see if you can bend the elbows a little. And then return through a seated position. Slide your legs so that your soles of your feet meet. I almost forgot my favorite stretch, can't forget it. We gotta stretch the upper body, that's how we're gonna finish today. So I would say sit comfortably. So if sitting cross-legged or sitting on your shins works, great. If that does not work, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna bring one elbow across the chest. Keep it bent and take your hand to the back of your shoulder. Draw your chin towards this chest and down. This chest, this shoulder. Big stretch all the way through that triceps group is what's up right now. Switch. I bend the elbow, it comes up and across. Drop into the shoulder and turn my head towards the shoulder that I'm working. I'm holding just above my elbow on my tricep. Breathe in and release. Good, turn your palm forward and pull your fingers back. This is gonna stretch that forearm underneath. And then turn your palm so that it faces you, and that's gonna stretch the palm, the forearm on the top. Good, we're gonna finish with this side. So I'm starting backwards. I pulled the knuckles back first, and then I'll pull my fingers back second. Oh my gosh, good. Take a moment, just roll those shoulders, tuck the chin, nod the head from right to left, up and down. Good. That is AAA on a Monday. I hope you liked it. And anything you guys are looking for, different times, like in terms of duration of the workout, different types of workout, if there's something specific, I really want to cater to that. So yeah. Suggestion box is open. All right, thanks for coming. I hope to see you again soon, and tell your friends, tell your mom, get on the workout train with us. Everybody is welcome. All right, peace.